Hey, what is up, YouTube? Andrew Rooney here, full-time drummer and drum teacher based right here in Auckland, New Zealand. We are back with a PayPal request. It's a goodie. It's a goodie. Read out the message here from Faye Lawson. Alistair Pardio did a reaction to this one as well. This is amazing. I know you will enjoy it.
That's what she said.
Ticks a lot of boxes. Slipknot. Disasterpiece. Absolute banger of a track. And Caleb H. If you have not seen this kid play, you are in for a treat. I've done a bunch of his videos on the channel. You can scroll back through the videos or use that little search bar on my channel and you'll find a whole bunch of Caleb H drum videos that are actually just mind-blowing. It's just... And also, one other thing that I would like to mention, I have done previous versions of Disasterpiece. I did the Disasterpiece drum solo, which was a couple of years ago, and even before that I did the Joey Jordison Disasterpiece drum cam. But then more recently, Eloy Casagrande, when he joined with Slipknot, him playing, and that's really raw footage, and it is also well worth a watch. I'm more than happy to get back into the song because it is going to be a new spin on it from a very young and very skillful young man. Guys, original video link in the description of each of my videos. Please do go along and support Caleb. And with that said, let's check it out.
Goodbye, so depressing. Withering away.
What?
Take a look inside. My soul is missing. All I have is death, so I'll take you with me. Feel like I'm erased. To kill me just in case. I feel like I'm erased. To kill me just in case. Now down like just a guy. Everything will be fine. See the light in my eyes. I'm at the front of me. I'm at the front of me. Smoking way all the way. You won't let me fucking stay. I'm at the front of me. I'm at the front of me. Is there another way to live? 'Cause it's the only way to die. I'm at the front of me. I'm at the front of me. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Okay. I think this is my this is my initial reaction after every Caleb H video, which I've done quite a few by this point. Just stunned amazement. So this is 5 months ago, relatively recent. I mean, he was killing it when he was 4, 5, 6 years old, age 9. You know, I was just having a chat to a fellow drum teacher, actually a guy who taught me for a period when I was coming up. And he's taught a lot of the really good working pros around town. And we were having a chat about young, I guess you could use the term prodigy perhaps. I don't really like using terms like prodigy because it indicates talent. Whereas actually, you know, hard work is much more useful and a much better indicator of success. But anyway, we're talking about young students because I've got a young student at the moment who's very young. I won't say too much, but he's very young. He's actually quite a bit younger than I would normally take on as a student. But the way it's worked out with the parents asking and whatnot, I've ended up taking him on, and he is very good. Very good. Anyway, back to the original story. I was talking to my friend about young drummers and potential problems, snags that you can run into. So if you do get a child who, well, what might appear to be talented, things might look easier for that child, that's a problem because they're the ones who are more likely to give up. They're the ones who are likely to get bored. Now, there's a really interesting chat with a high-performance sports person in Australia. I'd love to link to that actually. And he talks about how this is it's a real problem area. When you get someone who's young, everything's easy for them. They don't actually have to work that hard to be good. And those are the ones who are not going to make it. Because at some point, I guess, for lack of a better term, normal students or normal kids who do work, well, they'll just completely overtake them. Yeah, and quite quickly and quite easily. Although it won't look like it at first, it'll look like this person's just impossible to overtake. They will get absolutely steamrolled, and they'll probably give up anyway. And back here, thinking of that sort of danger period for younger players who are so good, because Caleb is so good. He is really, really good. Now, I don't mean that in terms of he's good for a 9-year-old kid. No, he's good. He's just a good drummer. He sounds amazing. So, someone like me, a drum teacher, I've been doing this, for 20 years or whatever. I look at someone like Caleb, especially when he was younger, and I think, I hope this works out for him. If it doesn't, hey, that's cool, but it would be a shame. It would be such a shame. I hope he continues. What I am so happy with here with Caleb is that he's actually just getting better and better. Now, the problem would be if he plateaued, starts getting bored, Or, you know, potentially some young people can start thinking, you know, they're bigger than the game. Like they're better than all their friends. They're better than everyone at school. Might even have a little bit of internet notoriety. It's like, you know, stuff that I don't need to practice today. I don't need to practice next week. You know, and then you start to slip. And then before you know it, you're completely off the radar and drums were just a distant memory. But again, he's continuing and he is sounding amazing. That was quite the performance. Now, what I've been doing recently is I haven't been stopping videos. I've just been going through and making notes. There was too much to make notes on. There was too much. So I sort of gave up because I was just sitting there enjoying the performance. Where do you start? You could go back and pinpoint every part of this performance. One thing I did note is that I heard him get warmed up. I actually heard that he was not warmed up, and then it might have been about a minute into the performance, I was like, there it is. He's slamming in the backbeat. Everything is like tightened up, and I actually heard him get warmed up into the track. All the linear licks between the double kick and the hands. I mean, a lot of quads in there, a lot of da 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 ga ga or da da ga ga, a lot of that, but it's the execution of them. They're so clean and tight and fast in this song. One thing I was going to talk about was stick path. Now, what I mean by stick path is literally just the path that your sticks take. Beginner drummers will often get tangled up and forget, am I supposed to, you know, what? And, that drum doesn't logically make sense. And then, you know, that's how you can spot a mile away. It's one of the tells for someone who is simply talented versus someone who has put in the hours. Caleb has put in the hours. I can see that from his stick path. It's really smooth. With his double kick, I mean, he's a young man. He's a young gentleman. So with a double kick, he's got to really cross over quite far to reach that hi-hat. And he's managing all that. He's getting the double chinas and everything and flowing through the toms with really, really fast fills. And there's no clash on the sticks. There's nothing's getting caught up or complicated in his sticking. He's not catching rims. He's not mishitting drums at all. It is really, really clean stick path. Amazing. I've also noted dynamics. Again, I don't even know which part. There were quite a few build-ups in there. That, you know, you take your pick. There were internal dynamics as well, but there were also parts where the whole song would just come down and he would do this beautiful, he was doing like a doubles on the snare, like a build-up back into the beat. Specific points that I did start time stamping, but again, it's difficult because the whole video is a highlight. 3:15, just the groove. Check this out. I mean, I would be happy with this groove. This guy's 9. What? And then transitioning back through different subdivisions. Another thing that really stood out to me, let's go to 3:30, the accent pattern he does here on the hi-hat. We'll go back a little bit more. How about 3:25? There we go. These accents, fantastic. And then catching all those splashes. So if you're not sure about accents, it's slightly louder notes in music. An accent is a slightly accented, emphasized note in music. And to be doing that as a drummer, you've got to alter somewhat your technique and certainly your stick height. Accents are a very, very tricky thing for students to develop. And I normally end up, after a certain period of teaching a student from scratch, we actually have to do like a whole module on accents because it doesn't come naturally and we tend to just hit everything the same volume, which that's okay because when you're starting out, you want to narrow your focus and just work on one thing at a time. I can't get you to, play a complex beat or play some pattern like this at first, and then also not only get you to try and read it and play it and remember it, but also try and hit some of them loud and stuff. It's something they sort of add on later, and it just shows like a real maturity of his drumming. I mean, he's always had great dynamics, but being able to use internal dynamics like accent patterns on the hi-hat like that really just shows he's a class act. I'm going to 355. Now that's interesting. I can see here in the video it says it's the most replayed bit. So what have I got here? I think I've written down chorus and what comes after it. I can't actually remember what I was talking about here. Oh. Oh. Okay, I didn't say chorus. I was saying choke. I can't even read my own writing. Should have been a doctor. So again, if you're not sure, choke in drumming on the cymbals is when you hit the cymbal and then you stop it with your hand. So if you don't catch it, if you don't choke it, it's going to have that natural decay. If you choke it, catch it with your hand, you cut it off. Now this is it's a pretty advanced thing. I mean, and you've obviously got to reach the cymbals. I've worked with drummers who are 9 and they sometimes even struggle to reach the cymbal, let alone have that micro timing to hit something, shut it off. But then he's keeping a beat going amongst all this. Let's have another listen to this. Now that I've educated you on chokes, let's have another listen to this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's keeping all that going with chokes. Now it's a musical decision. You're cutting it off for a reason. You want a staccato sound. You don't want a long sound there. So he's just all over this. I think the speed and the power is really evident with him, but what might go over some people's head is when he plays with space. Let's go to 445. There we go. Now look at how much activity his right hand is doing here. Obviously the backbeats have been really spread out here. There's loads of space. Your timing is really, really exposed here. And I could see as well that he was micro timing and subdividing. Even when he wasn't hitting the crash, he's thinking timing, he's thinking subdivision, trying to even out the notes. Spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Faye Lawson, you said that I was going to enjoy this one. I absolutely love it. I honestly can't get enough of Caleb H. Like, he is just such a delight. And I've actually seen, just on the other side here, there's a video of him actually, it looks like he's playing at a gig. So, with adults. I mean, I don't know if that's his father or what the situation is there. I forget actually what the setup is. I should know this, but I believe his parents are helping him out a bit, in terms of they play or something along those lines. I'll leave that for the comments, guys. Hit me up. Let me know. That's bizarre. Let me know the family situation with Caleb H and how he is getting such quality time. We often forget about quality time on the instrument. We talk about, the 10,000 hours rule and, whatever you want to think about that. 10,000 quality hours versus 10,000 mind-numbing, another exercise. Oh, God, when is it over? That versus being in the groove, in the mode, and you're just like running home from school to jump on the drum kit. That's a completely different 10,000 hours. And this guy is getting the quality in. Faye Lawson, thanks again for the support of the channel and this amazing pick. Guys, if you out there have a reaction request that you definitely want to guarantee gets on this channel, the only way I can guarantee a request at this point is via the PayPal link, and that's just to reward those who are supporting the channel. I do also have a Patreon. It's just $5 a month, and through that you get access to the blocked videos. Guys, as always, remember original video links are always in the description of each video. Please do go along, support Caleb if you haven't already. And if you're feeling up to it, I would really appreciate a subscribe tap stroke. On that upstroke, maybe hit the like button and leave me a comment with what you thought of this video and what you would like me to check out next. Guys, remember, you as a subscriber of my channel, you get access to a full and free 30-day trial over at DRUMEO. Go learn from the world's best drummers and drum teachers on me for free for a month. Go get it. Until next time, guys, go and sell your drum kit. And look, it should be inspiring. It should not make you want to burn your drumsticks. But seriously, keep chopping wood. Take it easy. Ciao.